the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Inside the packed arena, thousands of fans roared, their voices echoing off the walls like thunder before a storm. On one side stood Joseph Parker, the pride of New Zealand, a former WBO heavyweight champion. Once a young lion crowned at the pinnacle, Parker carried with him the hunger to reclaim his place among the elite. 30 wins, 21 knockouts, and the experience of having shared the ring with some of the biggest names in the sport. His calm demeanor disguised a heart forged in battle. And across from him, the towering presence of Joyce, the Juggernaut of England. Undefeated, unrelenting, a man with the chin of steel and an engine that never seemed to tire. A 2016 Olympic silver medalist who had bulldozed through every obstacle placed in front of him. With the WBO interim heavyweight title at stake, this was more than a fight. It was destiny calling. As the lights dimmed and the ring announcer's voice filled the arena, Parker walked out first, cloaked in black and blue, his eyes sharp and focused. Then came Joyce, draped in white with multicolored trim, absorbing the roars of the crowd with stoic confidence. Two warriors, two nations, one colossal battle. The referee brought them together. Protect yourselves at all times. Catch gloves. The bell rang. 12 rounds of war awaited. The opening rounds were a tense chess game. Parker used his experience, darting in and out, landing crisp jabs and right hands to the body. His strategy was clear. Hit Joyce before the Juggernaut could start rolling. His combinations carried speed and precision, and in those moments, Parker looked every bit the former world champion. Joyce, however, was undeterred. He stalked forward with that piston-like jab, absorbing Parker's shots as though they were raindrops. The commentators asked the question every opponent faced: can anyone really hurt Joyce? Parker landed flush, even cracking him with a thunderous right hand, the kind that would wobble most heavyweights, yet Joyce simply blinked and pressed on. By round 3, the fight had heated up. Joyce's bodywork was beginning to tell. Hooks to the ribs, jabs to the solar plexus, forcing Parker backward, making him feel the weight of every exchange. Parker responded with sharp counters, but the Juggernaut's relentless march was already changing the tone of the battle. The fans sensed it. This wasn't going to be a simple fight of skills. It was going to be a test of willpower and survival. As the middle rounds unfolded, the arena turned electric. Joyce's jab was finding its home more consistently, each thudding shot snapping Parker's head back. Yet Parker, showing the warrior's spirit, answered with fiery combinations. Round 5 saw Parker land one of his best shots of the night, a booming overhand right that echoed in the arena. The crowd gasped. Joyce didn't budge. He smiled and pressed forward. The 6th and 7th rounds were brutal. Parker, visibly digging deep, lashed out with everything he had: sharp uppercuts, looping hooks, body shots meant to slow the giant down. For a moment, it looked like momentum had shifted. Parker's counters were eye-catching, his timing crisp. The crowd rallied behind his courage. But the Juggernaut was named so for a reason. Joyce's chin absorbed it all, and his engine never slowed. He closed distance, hammered Parker with combinations, and punished the body with heavy blows. By round 8, Parker's face was beginning to show the toll, swelling around the eye, blood seeping from a cut. Yet still, he fought, refusing to yield. The fight had transformed from a boxing contest into a war of attrition, each round adding to the story of two men pushing their limits. Rounds 9 and 10 showcased the essence of Joyce. Like a machine, he kept marching forward, doubling his jab, unloading to the body, and pounding Parker with relentless combinations. The New Zealander, exhausted and hurt, tried to summon the spirit of a champion. He landed a beautiful uppercut in round 10 that momentarily stunned Joyce, but once again, Joyce simply shook it off and fired back with even greater force. The London crowd roared as Joyce cornered Parker, unleashing barrages of punches that threatened to end the fight. Parker's legs wobbled, but his pride kept him upright. Every time Joyce landed a crushing shot, Parker would return fire, showing heart that demanded respect. By round 11, Parker's face was a mask of punishment, but his spirit burned. Joyce, however, sensed the end. His pressure intensified. Parker leaned against the ropes, trying to fight back. But Joyce's shots were heavier, sharper, and merciless. The Juggernaut was no longer just wearing him down. He was hunting the finish. Then came the moment. Round 11. Parker against the ropes, weary and bruised. Joyce launched a monstrous left hook, long, looping, and perfectly timed. It detonated flush on Parker's jaw. Time seemed to freeze as Parker collapsed to the canvas, the crowd erupting in shock. The referee began the count. Parker tried, but his body wouldn't respond. 9, 10, it was over. Joyce roared in triumph, his undefeated record intact, his power undeniable. The WBO interim heavyweight title now rested on his shoulders. It wasn't just victory, it was a statement to the world. The Juggernaut was ready for the ultimate prize, a shot at the world title. And yet, amidst the celebration, respect filled the ring. Parker, ever the warrior, had shown immeasurable courage, pushing Joyce further than most had before. The two men embraced, warriors who had shared the crucible of battle. The fans knew they had witnessed something unforgettable, a heavyweight war, a brutal knockout, and the rise of a man who truly embodied his nickname. Joyce, the Juggernaut, had arrived.